That's fine. Supposed to be in right there.
Okay.
That was pretty cool. I mean, I kind of went a little bluesy, you know. Give me one more. Keep that one. Let me just take a different approach, and he can decide. I'll do something a little more straight than the other motion.
Okay.
But I will let the goat out of the bag. At least once.
All right, here we go.
Talking about.
And I've been rolling distant as the day been calling, trailing off to nothing in a world gone wrong. Wasted all my luck upon a town going nowhere.
You want Americana? That's fucking Americana right there, man. That's as Americana as you can get.
What an absolute incredible experience it was to be able to go down to Mississippi and make a record. The Zebra Ranch in Coldwater, Mississippi, the legendary home of the home studio of Jim Dickinson, who is, unmovable from the legacy of American rock and roll. Just incredible, I mean, he worked at Sun Records, worked at Ardent in Memphis and early days, and moved on to Criteria Sound, and played piano with the Stones on Wild Horses and Muscle Shoals. Just an incredible legacy. Working with Dylan, working with Cooder, Jerry Jeff Walker, John Hiatt, all those rock and roll guys. Big Star, made Big Star's third record. Working with the Replacements. I mean, incredible legacy. So when I found out that Jimbo was taking over the helm at the Zebra Ranch, we just sort of juggled some time together, and it just so worked out with his schedule and my schedule that we could turn this project. I am indebted that he took the time to make this record. What an incredible experience. Mississippi has a strange pulse, just an incredible, beautiful magic that I could feel right away. There's the heaviness there for sure. It's not Nashville. There's a lot of poverty in Mississippi. They probably haven't had enough money to buy a soul for a long time. I think you'd be marching off to Nashville if you wanted to sell your soul. You'd be lining up with the Glitter Clones over there trying to get ahead in the music world. So this was certainly a harder process. It was certainly filled with a more uncomfortable future, some artistic growth, some big risks as far as that goes. Trying to work off of first takes and room sound. That's a Memphis thing that Jimbo is certainly a disciple of, is these beautiful old RCA ribbon mics and catching room sound and trying to get first takes. I mean, it was nerve-wracking as an artist. But, it was great to sort of put your songs out there and surrender to the spirit of the room and see what your songs are made of. For me, it was a great thing.
Yeah, it's live. Yeah, it's live. Tell me somebody. Oh, tell me somebody. Oh, I got a loose brace.
I mean, I've always been moved by Dylan when I discovered him in high school, and started digging backwards to the old blues and the folk revival and singer-songwriters, and trying to figure out, what inspired those guys to want to make music like that. And Jimbo, as a producer, as an artist, he certainly is in completely and totally tuned into the primary motivations of why we make music in the first place. And that's pretty evident when you just hear his music. But as a producer, he was really good at guiding me to surrender to the songs and find the cadence that sort of worked for the room. And that was pretty magical for me. It was hard to let go. I have a pretty strong vision of how I want things to go, and Jimbo was able to sort of let me let go of those limitations and let go of my expectations and surrender the songs, and you get what you get. Let's see what these songs are made of. Let's put them down and let's just see what happens here. So that was a great process. I look forward to a more uncomfortable future and growing as an artist and making these things happen. So, I'm incredibly indebted. And what a great experience. Mississippi has a strange magic. And let me tell you, you're looking for authenticity. You're looking for the real thing. You don't have to look further than the artists that are coming out of Mississippi. Incredibly humble, incredibly gifted. And I think they work harder than artists that I've seen from anywhere else. So, yeah, magic. Strange happenings down there at the Zebra Ranch. Real powerful lessons. You march in there with ego and artistic pretense, hoping to set things up for yourself, and you might end up disappointed with the process.
Tone it sounded like. I mean, I got it cranked to the balls. Okay. Let's make it funky.
Like, I love stuff like that, Jimbo, where it's just big tension building. Slides on.
Yeah, for sure.
Love that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Give me 1 minute with it.
Yeah. Man, killer. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okie dokie.
You ready?
Yeah, man. Let's try one. Hey! Right there, that verse.
Songs of old have come to call. Don't rightly remember about much at all. You see the devil sleeps in a Riverport town. He's Annabella Moore, got a cottonmouth crown. He knows your name and he calls the flood. Things get lost in the Chickasaw mud. He's ordering graves and Confederate bones. Best not be walking out there alone. And I'm waiting in the tumbling river, singing low where the spirits weep. And I'm waiting in the tumbling river, past the Cooder River, yeah, she plays for keeps. The lies that you couldn't hold true, washed in the waters of the federal blue. Everybody's scared. Where do songs come from? I don't even know as a songwriter, you know. I had heard this Mary Johnson song, Key to the Mountain Blues, and it just sort of hit me like a lightning bolt, and it opened the door for me to dig back and see that she was from Yazoo City, Mississippi, and that she was married to Lonnie Johnson. She was big in the 30s and the 1920s and the 1930s, you know. You know, I wasn't really a blues person. You know, I grew up on heavy metal, Iron Maiden and AC/DC. It wasn't until I discovered Bob Dylan and wanted to dig backwards that, you know, I started digging backwards into the blues. But I had seen this little clip of Bob Dylan and Pete Seeger playing in 1963 in Greenwood, Mississippi at a voter registration rally. And I just thought to myself, music can have this kind of empathy. Music can have this kind of social impact. It blew my mind, you know? And that's when I wanted to start digging backwards. It's when I wanted to sort of open the folk process. And when you dug back far enough, you got to the blues. And of course, I'm not a blues singer. I'm not a blues aficionado, but there was just something about the power of that music that drew me in. You know, when you look at those community-based artists, well, the foundation of that music was connection to community. You know, those songwriters would transport themselves somewhere else on a Saturday night, and everybody came with them. They were able to forget for a while, or stand right up into the face of oppression and sing. There was just something powerful about it, you know? There's a great deal of mythology down there in Mississippi where this music comes from. After hearing that Mary Johnson song, I was sort of tracing my finger around on the map, and I came to this river, the Pascagoula River, you know, and it was an indigenous word, and it was the oldest untouched river in the United States of America, and it's been rolling there since long before there was even flags waving above this nation as a country. You know, the things that river has seen, the songs that it's heard. It was like the spirits were just screaming out for that song to be written, you know. So that was the process for me for these songs, you know. And I'm just incredibly grateful to Jimbo Mathus for bringing me down to Mississippi to record, you know, to help open the door to that folk process, you know. For some people, yeah, it's about social data and it's about, you know, commercial metrics. And sure, in the future, people will be in their AI closets with their eye helmets on, asking Baby Yoda to sing the Michael Jackson songs. But for me, I crave something a little stronger, you know? And I'm eternally grateful to Jimbo Mathus for bringing us down to the Zebra Ranch and putting this project together, you know? He worked as the producer on this, and he's really weaving that strange magic down there in Mississippi. It's incredible. He's got a great team. John Kilgore, all the patience of the world on that board, you know? And it was mastered by, you know, Clay Jones in Oxford, Mississippi. So I remain indebted to those guys for the process, you know, just trying to bring some beauty into the world and chasing ghosts of things not from this time.
All right, it's gonna be okay. The sun ain't gonna call your name out every single day. Well, this ain't like they told us. Hell, I say they lied. We all cut our secrets loose with a little bit of truth to hide. Some days we're out there walking lost. We all got those stones to roll. I'm gonna be just where I'm found. The coals come to carry me home. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be just fine. The moon don't follow no man's lead. She keeps her own damn time. Some words they shine like diamonds, and others just Peekskill stone. And struggle holds like a worn out song that everybody seems to know. all got to raise those words. Solid as a fish-killed chimney, strong and undeterred. So let your songs be sung so loud that they rattle loose the door. Sing them out like you mean it for the ones who came before. Sundays we're out there walking lost. We all got those stones to roll. I'm gonna be just where I'm found when the crows come to carry me home. I'm gonna spread these tethered wings when the crows come to carry me home.
Is that better? Just look me in right there.
Hit that four for me, boss man. That's the part where it hits that four.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, the sun come up and the sun go down, and there's a little bit of life in this little bitty town. Well, the stars are out until the moon sinks low, but just like that, you know the darkness goes. The night was long and the day was too, and I could feel the fade through the daylight blue. Well, the birds come out and they sang so sweet, and it raised me up straight above the street. But there be lots of things, and there be lots of things, and there be lots of things I ain't about to understand. When you reach the top, you gotta get back down. You gotta risk it all. There ain't no safe and sound. And you go staggering in and trying to touch the sun. Well, they'll melt your wings here, but just for fun. And there'll be lots of things, and there'll be lots of things, and there'll be lots of things I ain't about to understand. And late at night, when the darkness sings in a fallen world, it's the little things. And out beyond the stars, right, but you might be wrong. And there'll be lots of things, and there'll be lots of things, and there'll be lots of things I ain't about to understand. Will the sun come up and the sun go down?